Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Aquarius, for today is number 20, and it says enough. Further it says you were born enough. And if you see here in the picture, there is a lady standing tall with wings, looks like phoenix wings. She herself looks like a phoenix that has risen. So that's what this energy is all about. It's about understanding that you are enough as whoever you are and feeling abundant in your own self. And knowing that you are worth every penny of happiness and you deserve everything in this world. There is nothing that you cannot achieve, that you cannot strive for, that you cannot get. So I feel this is an encouragement for you to release any kind of a mindset if you have in regards to scarcity. Feels like a 5 of Pentacles. And know that you are sufficient. You are good, you're skilled, you are confident, you are it. So I feel that once you shift your perspective about your own self, then manifesting anything will become really easy. So stop doubting your worth. Stop isolating yourself. Because, you know, Aquarian energy, the collective Aquarian 11th house energy is, you're an air sign. The air element is very predominant, which causes to isolate yourself, which causes detachment at a collective level. That's what the Aquarian energy is, because you're a little bit highly geeky, highly, I would say, thinking outside the box. So in general itself, you're so geeky, you're so absorbed with, projects and how can you better create something for the community, because it's for the collective. The Korean 11th house is more about community. So I feel that if you start feeling that you're not enough, then you kind of shirk away from, interacting with people. You'll isolate yourself. You'll start missing out on opportunities of connections with people, of networking. So I do feel that while, you're the sign that innovates. You're the innovators of the zodiac Aquarians. And, it's like you invent so many things. The Aquarian collective is all about invention, gadgets. There is a lot of intellectual faith that the world has on Aquarians. And being the air sign, you're highly communicative, and you're very independent, you're very free because you think outside the box. You don't stay confined to the stereotypes or the society, the laws and rules and whatever is already existing and how it should be does not restrict your thoughts in any way. So I feel that this is a call for you Aquarians to wake up to your own self-worth. And if you are having any doubts, understand why you're feeling anywhere less than. Maybe there is some kind of a belief that you're holding on to and that needs to be released. So, this is a very good opportunity for you to be in that abundant mindset, to know that you are gold. You are gold. Love yourself, there's a lot. And if you have any doubts, I feel you should join and listen to those campaigns that are going on around, for self-love and for body positivity and things like that. And people do experience a lot of growth, in associating with these groups. So if you have any ounce or iota of doubt, Aquarians, I would recommend for you to join any of those supportive groups on self-love. So if you're missing out the big picture, somebody will be able to show it to you of how much the world values the Aquarian energy. So I do feel it's just this imposter syndrome right now that you're having, Aquarius, and you just need to overcome it, So don't feel any less than. You are more than enough. You're an inspiration to the world if you didn't know that. I would recommend a song for you. Listen to Kiala Settle song. It's called This Is Me. It's a beautiful song, and it will, help you boost it'll help boost your self-morale, because that song by Kiala Settle is all about celebrating yourself and knowing how worthy you are of things. It's very popular. I love the song. I don't want to sing it here because I've done that before and I didn't like how it came out, so I will just tell you the name of the song. It's called This Is Me, and it's by Kiala Settle. So listen to that song and specifically the lyrics, and it will, it will tell you how much worthy you are. It will bring a positive boost of energy to you. Also, you can watch a beautiful movie around this energy. It's called The Greatest Showman. And that also, I think you'll pick up a thing or two from that. So you need to also say some affirmations. And they could be any affirmations, Start by saying that you are enough. Start by saying that I'm worthy of love, respect, and everything that this world has to offer. Say good things to yourself. Talk positively. Say, I accept myself unconditionally. Just tell yourself that you are capable of overcoming any challenges. Tell yourself that you trust yourself. Tell yourself that you are, you are it, you're gold, and you're growing and you're learning every single day. And, tell yourself that you are strong. Tell yourself that you are unique. Tell yourself that you have unique talents. Tell yourself that you choose yourself. Tell yourself that you choose the happiness and joy and all good things. And focus on the good things in life. You are in control, Aquarius, and you are enough. Even on your messiest days, you are enough. So give yourself that permission, Aquarius, to be seen, to be heard, to take up space. And, when it comes to mistakes, when we sometimes get into this feeling of you're not enough or not good enough, we did not do this good enough. No, you did your best. Whatever you could do in the situation and the circumstances, you did your best. Now, if people, they cannot just stop expecting from you, then that's their problem. And of course, we're all not perfect. We all make mistakes along the way. We're all work in progress. Each one of us, till the last year of our lives, we're all work in progress. No one is perfect in this world. So accept yourself. You're perfectly imperfect, or however they say it. So if you have made mistakes in the past that make you feel less than, forgive it. It's okay. It's a learning curve. You learned. So just trust yourself. Trust that you're learning, you're growing. Trust your decisions. You're strong. You grow. Everybody makes mistakes. And just focus on the goodness in your life. Focus on yourself. Focus on your happiness. Further angular, it says, you are the lantern's eternal light. You are the lantern's eternal light, born enough always. The next card you have, Aquarius, is the Beaver card, and Beaver is the water element. And Aquarius, you are the air element. I feel that you are channeling this Beaver energy, which is about caring for your nears and dears, but putting in the actual work. You could be doing physical things for them. You could be, being that solid provider. You could be providing stability. You could be, providing your support in any way, shape, or form. Now, this can also be that you are busy doing things, creating things, solving problems. You are working hard. You're creating something for yourself. It's like Beaver energy is more about, creating something from the scratch, from ground up. So, and of course, Aquarius being the 11th house energy, you have very unique ideas. You're very innovative in your approach, in the way you create things. So I do feel that you might be either starting up a home or creating something from ground up. Either you just got married and you're creating a house, buying things, and you're setting it up, or you could have started a new business that you're really passionate about and you're starting it ground up and you're very creative with the whole process. Now, the only caveat with this Beaver energy is overworking. So you might be overwhelmed by the amount of hours that you're putting into it, and be mindful of that because it could lead to burnout. So you need to, plan for rest time, rest days as well, especially if you're working as part of a team, because you can just be there doing your thing relentlessly, burning the midnight oil. And for some of you, if you're at leadership positions, you might be even pushing your team a little bit towards, working hard, working relentlessly and things like that. So be mindful that if this is what you are doing, then you are ignoring the possibility that such kind of routines can lead to a fatigue, which will take a long time to overcome. It will cause delays unnecessarily. So it's not a sustainable energy if you are pushing too much and too hard. Now, if this is you as a boss, as a leader that's pushing the team, then, just be mindful of that as well. Because, if your team gets fatigued and stressed out and burned out, they won't look up to you as a good leader. So I feel that it's very important to be mindful of the working hours and sustainable practices. Now, because this is a water element, and of course it's also an earth element, I consider pivot to be a very courtesy energy as well, And earth energy is all about sustainability, groundedness, centeredness, stability, manifesting things. And water energy is all about your intuitive, your subconscious, your emotions, how fluid you are, how adaptable you are. So I do feel that, yes, you are very intuitive, you being the Aquarius sign. People don't expect Aquarians to be intuitive, but I feel that this energy of people is telling me that you're very intuitive at this point in time. And you might be even taking the actions based on what your body and gut is telling you. And that's good because, once we feel the things, once we have that emotional connect, which air signs are, sometimes misconstrued to not have that emotional connect. But I feel that some appearance, or actually a lot of you might have some water placements as well, that's making you highly emotionally connected. So building on that, emotional, I would say intelligence, emotional resilience is also very important, and giver energy helps you to build on that as well. Now, I'm also getting a lot of earthy projects, which means that you might be creating something, maybe roads, maybe homes, maybe you're into construction, even bigger construction projects like, there's dams, there's architectural wonders, towers, and all of that. So that all, I feel that some of your parents might be busy in that as well, constructive projects. Now, if you're not into that, then you might be creating stronger foundations with a unique spirit, with new, putting in new things, or maybe softwares that will create something that are inventive, that will change the game for the world. So some of you could be into that as well. Now, others of you that are in the creatives, you might be into unique kind of drama as unique theater production, or unique kind of things for your books and writing materials. Or at the least, I'm pretty sure you're doing some DIYs at home. But and some of you might also be exploring some kind of technology or tech gadgets as well. Or you might be even exploring options for doing something in a sustainable way, something that can be sustained over a long period of time, that remains timeless. And that's the key thing. When we create products, we need to make sure that they will stand the test of time, like foam, Phone is something that, it has evolved, but it stood the test of time. It's still around, and it's not going anywhere. Things like that. Planes and trains, these are all timeless inventions that only get better with time. And I feel that some of you might be working on products or projects that will change something, that will shape this world, Actually, Beaver is a shaping energy. Might shape the way things are done, maybe shape the way business is done, shape the way fashion is done. It could be any area that you're working in. Now, I feel that, if you watch the movie Castaway, there's a beautiful song in that. It's called Busy Earnin'. Busy Earnin', and it's a beautiful song by Jungle. And actually, that reminds me of this Weaver energy where people are, very persistent. They're one step at a time, one break at a time. They're constructing, they're building, they're surviving, and things like that. So what's that beautiful movie, Castaway, totally resonates with this Weaver spirit. And there's and the song in that, Busy Burning. So you're very constructive spirit right now. You might be constructing. It could be big and small. Like I said, you could be part of a construction group, or you could be constructing thing at home. You could be doing some DIY projects yourself, building things yourself from ground up. Maybe it's a garden even, maybe it's a recipe even, when you have to start from scratch and putting all the ingredients, not using ready-made stuff from outside and building everything, even the dough, starting from the process of building the dough, that could be for some of you. Now, some of you might also be working on rebuilding communities. This is also a building and rebuilding energy. So some of you might be rebuilding ignored areas of lands, Some of you might be, I feel planting trees. Look at this picture. There's a lot of trees in the background. Some of you could be kind of working in jungle or restructuring or restoring jungles or some kind of trees, planting or something like that also. But something about sustainability. Now, some of you can also be joining some kind of sports team, like marathon. Some of you could be running marathons, marathon runners. I am also getting, because Libra spirit is related to endurance, to keep going, to be able to keep going and create. To create anything, I would say there is a need for endurance. And I feel that some of you could be doing some kind of endurance training, whether at the gym or through running marathons. Now, some of you might even be fixing things at your own house. It's like a broken faucet. You're ready to fix, you know how to fix it. Or a broken handle somewhere on a doorknob or something. So some of you might be trying out these simple fixes at home by yourself, and which is good also, because if we know it, then even better. It's just a skill to have. Some of you might be learning these kind of skills as well, something which come in handy. So some of you could be training in that as well. And I feel that, when we're into those kind of skills, like, it helps us build confidence in ourselves and gives you strength to deal with any kind of situations, It gives you a lot of patience to deal with all of that. And so something like that. So either some of you are working together as part of a group, in the nature. Some of you might be doing projects in regards to outdoors, maybe in nature or maybe in the forest. Maybe you have a company in regards to the environment or something like that. But I'm getting a very outdoorsy energy with this building in the outdoors. Further down it says here, like the beaver's dream, build your dream. Like the beaver's dam, build your dreams with wild persistence. The universe flows through your creation. The next card you have, Aquarius, is the King of Swords. This is air energy and very much your energy. And the King of Swords is all about intellect, right? Being very smart, having a wits about yourself, having that clarity, purpose, and things like that, and using your mind to cut through any kind of confusion. It's being fair and square with everything. It's being organized. It's being brilliant in your thoughts, in your strategies, in your planning. It's also, leading with integrity. It's leading with truth. So I do feel you are in a very strong position to, come up with innovative ideas. And, the King energy are the leaders. And I feel that you are in a leadership position right now, Aquarius. And you're very confident. People trust you for your decisions, for your ideas, for your problem-solving capabilities, for you to understand where, what is needed for your decisions, for your choices. So I feel that you're in a very leadership position right now, leadership energy right now. You have valuable ideas, you have valuable thoughts. And this King of Swords, is not the typical Rider-Waite deck. This is a King of Swords that is trying to lift weights. And I already felt to that. There's a lot of, endurance building. This is strength training. So some of you could actually be building your bodies. That also is the Libra energy. Building your bodies, going to the gym, lifting weights. Some of you could be into that as well. The only caveat with this is to become too sharp, or too much blunt with your conversation, because an air sign, especially the King of Swans, could come across as a little bit cold in the conversation, in the way you speak. So be mindful of that, because you might end up pushing people away and, isolating yourself. So don't be very blunt, even if you are the leader and you have to give an opinion or you have to give some feedback. So don't be blunt or too much critical of other people, or use measured words, especially when you want to convey the your sentiments, because otherwise you might be, your coldness might lead to unnecessary arguments, and it'll just kind of delay your project or delay your thing, whatever you're doing. So be mindful of that as well. Be very practical with your approach, with your actions, and don't be too detached from the people, because King of Swords energy has the capability to detach themselves. But I do feel that at this point you're extremely sharp, you're very much focused, and if you are supposed to provide a feedback or analyze something, especially for those gap analysis, or you might be an analyst, you might be a market analyst, a political analyst, and it takes a lot of detachment from any kind of opinions and attachments, right? Especially political analysts. So I feel that you have the ability to stay detached and provide a good analysis for things. Now, Aquarians, the collective Aquarius is also about having healthy debates, So some of you might be kind of debating or asking a lot of questions, and it could be about any subject. Some of you might be, I feel you're creating something, You might be into sports, you might be creating some kind of innovative process, or some kind of innovation is going on in whichever area you are, Aquarius. Some of you could be lawyers, some of you could be learning law, or you might be standing up for community causes and things like that. Some kind of community also comes through it, whether it's a sports community or whether it's a nutrition community. Some of you could be advocates of that as well right now. Some of you might be reading up a lot or trying to ask questions to understand things. Some of you might be into puzzles and riddles. Also, that also comes to me at this point in time. Puzzles and riddles, or something that you might be trying to learn and upskill, which you haven't done before, to keep you intellectually stimulated. So some of you could be into that as well. Now, if you watch the movie Inception, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. That's the complete King of Swords energy. Focus on the main character, Dom Cobb, in that movie. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's, such, that character, Don Cobb, has such a sharpness, wit, and the strategies are amazing, it's mind-bending. So see that movie Inception if you really wish to catch a glimpse of this King of Swords in action, or you can listen to a Coldplay song. Any guesses? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's Viva la Vida. It's a beautiful song, and I feel that if you pay attention to the lyrics, you'll figure out how wiseness, or your wisdom helps you to rise above the others. It's like ruling with wise authority is the theme of Viva la Vida by Coldplay. Now, if this is not your energy of courage, which I feel it is, it might be around you. This energy might be playing out around you, where people are very decisive, what they want. They're not in a dilemma. They're not conflicted in their emotions or thoughts. You might see that a lot of people, maybe in your family, maybe in your neighborhood, are very, definitive with their words. They know what they want. They're very decisive. They choose. They're not like swinging from one place to the other. So I do feel that a lot of decisiveness, a lot of analytics. So some of you could be into analysis as well. Or maybe this is somebody around you who's into some kind of analysis, for themselves or for their companies, something like that. Now, some of you might be negotiating some kind of deals, and you have all the information, you have a strategy, you know exactly how things work. So some of you might be able to negotiate good deals as well. Now, because of your good advice, sound logic, and all of that, some people, you might be the go-to person, for your friends or family, for your organization, where people are actually looking up to you for some kind of advice, or even adding to the discussion. So some of you will see that people value your opinion, value your comments, value your analysis. They know that you're focused. They know that you can think on the spot. You are sharp with your wit and your thinking and your confidence. So, I don't know where that not enough energy is coming, because with the King of Swords, you're at your best. You're out there, you're, interacting with people, you're, doing the best at work. Um, you're sorted out in your head. You're not letting confusion get the better of you. So it's a good energy to be in. Just be mindful of the words that you blur up because it might come across as a little bit cold and rude. Now, further, it says here, embrace your inner king. Let air's wisdom guide your sword to truth, for the cosmos crowns the clear-hearted. And the last card for today, Aquarius, you have is a message from the cosmos, and it says, you could use some self-care time, like now. Schedule it in. Yeah, so I do feel, the Beaver energy where I warned you that you're constructing, you're working hard, starting from scratch. There's a lot of, mental energy that you're using, and it's exhausting, constantly to think, to research, to apply yourself. Because in today's world, there are so many options. There are so many alternate ways of doing it. To analyze which is the perfect way, which is the most budget friendly, especially if you're doing some research for the corporate, which are the best materials out there, especially if you're in the construction, which is the best house out there, especially if you're buying the house. What are the fashion demands if you're into fashion industry, or what kind of art do people prefer these days, to research, to analyze, to understand, to come up with new innovative design in today's world is not easy. We have to do so much of resources, so many resources available. Sometimes something works, sometimes it doesn't work, and trying things out and then failing and coming back again is not an easy process. Creativity today in any field is not easy. It looks easy because we already have a strong foundation to build on it, but then to come up with something which is a game changer is not easy. To have a brilliant idea outside of what already exists is not easy. You need to stretch your mind. So I do feel that you are exhausted by spinning your wheels, you're thinking too much, you're analyzing too much, you're contemplating too much. And there is actually a lot which goes on during our day, especially corporate, everything's become so competitive. So it's equally important for us to take care of ourselves, to nurture us, to include, whatever we can, good rest, good eating, good diet, sleep times, and less distractions, and have some meditation or spiritual practice to keep us centered and grounded and stress-free, to have those periodical walks outside that we de-stress, So I think that's what is required of you right now. Is it's good to pursue your dreams and your job, career, whatever you're doing, but burning out and fatigued and all that is not a good way to go about things. It's not sustainable. So you need those periodic breaks, and you need to incorporate it as a daily practice. Because we cannot think right. We cannot be present fully when we are tired, when we're sleepy all the time, So it's very important to be well rested and taken care of. And, it's very important, especially, it's important for everyone. I wouldn't say that any specific person or any particular profession needs rest. Every profession, every person in this world deserves rest and needs rest. Whether you could be a homemaker, you could be out there in corporate, you could be having your own business, whatever your role is. Everyone needs those periodic, well-planned rests. Go out on periodical vacations, or staycations, whatever, and there's a lot of good meditation modalities and apps and resources available today, and they really work. We know that a lot of companies, a lot of countries, even globally, if we see they're investing a lot into wellness programs. There's a lot of companies that are bringing in coaches for wellness programs, having these retreats, because, you need to, first, if you're well rested and well cared for, that's when good ideas come, and especially Aquarians, with you, ideas is really important. I mean, it is for everybody, but you're the innovators, remember? So I feel that be mindful of where you spend your time and energy and take those periodic breaks. None. If you have seen the movie The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and Walter Mitty, that main character, but there is so much. That movie is all about self-care, So see that movie if you want to learn a thing or two, or you can just, it's also, I remember that song by Journey. If you heard it, Don't Stop Believing, that song. I mean, yes, it goes right for don't stop believing in yourself, don't stop believing in other people in the world. And also, it speaks about pausing for a bit, even like, yeah, we all have our dreams, we all have our goals, we all have our timelines. But then Nobody's asking you not to dream big. It's just that you need to pause. You need to enjoy the finer and smaller things in life as well. You need to take it easy, take it easy. Space out the work, because work will never end otherwise. And if you want to really function, if you want to take it to the end of the project, if you want to be successful in life, you will need to be well rested and also enjoy the process. Otherwise, it becomes a burden, which is not sustainable. So be mindful of that. I've known a lot of companies today are pushing for work-life balance, for mental health. There's a lot of countries that are pushing for mental health policies. So it's because everybody recognizes the importance of having a good sound health and a good sound mind. There's also a concept of afternoon siestas, where people take afternoon breaks, they eat, they sleep off, or, take a good rest for half an hour, 40 minutes, and then they come back well rested, because, once you're well rested, you can perform double. The output is more, the productivity is more. So whatever works for you in terms of relaxing and calming yourself down is what you need to have. In a lot of urban cities, we already know there's a concept of forest bathing. And that's one way that people are able to calm themselves down. There are Zen zones today in homes that are constructed specifically. Designers and builders are having some separate spaces for that sacred sanctuary that we all want at home. It's called Zen zones. And a lot of real estate builders are actually incorporating them into their homes. So I understand that the world is competitive and we need to do this, that, and the third. Today, people are required to push the boundaries, but self-care precedes everything, I feel, nobody's in a rat race. The world, life is not a rat race, and we should not be in it. Competing with ourselves, with our yesterday self, is a good idea, but, competition to a certain level is okay. I know companies compete, price points, this, that, and the third. They compete for a piece of market share, and all of that is okay. But I feel that you should put self-care above getting burnt out and stressed out. And for you specifically, Aquarians, because you give it your all, and you don't even schedule time for any periodic group sessions or activities and something like that. But I feel that this is a call and encouragement for you guys to schedule those in as well, where you go out with a group of friends or to some place and you just have a good time, a coffee hour, happy hour, whatever that is. But I feel that's also very important that you incorporate that into your regular schedule. Further down it says, in the stars' gentle whisper, schedule your cosmic recharge. You're worthy of the universe's endless flow. So in the stars' gentle whisper, schedule your cosmic recharge. Okay, so Aquarians, those were your messages, and hope you enjoyed them. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.